Look confused. Okay, great. We are live on TV and trying to get my Zoom to come back up. Okay, now I'm back in the Zoom room with people, and there's my friend Cassie. We were dancing last night at the Art Society of Kingston, and we are dancing again tonight. So here's our warm up. All right, we're going to start standing up. Inhale, stretch, reach it out and up. Feel your feet on the floor. And then exhale as you're reaching to the sky. Lower your hands. Inhale, stretch up, reach it out and up. Open your heart, open your lungs. Exhale, feel the space around you. Inhale, open. You can interlace your hands on top, stretching a little bit of side to side, just mobilizing your body however you need to, but getting longer through both sides of your body, the front and back of your body. Reaching up through your arms, feeling your feet on the floor. And from there, let's just make our way down with bent knees, shifting from side to side, letting your head hang down, letting your spine free up. Breathing, letting go. Imagining any kind of stress or tension that is in your body to pour out of the top of your head and pour out of your shoulders as you're here. Just letting go of whatever you might be holding on to. And then rolling up through your spine, coming all the way up to the top. And I think we should really do the lymph thing that we usually do, rubbing your hands together just to get some energy. If you do Reiki, this is how you start, right? So there's this connection being formed. Taking your right hand, crossing to this upper left quadrant. Here's my collarbone, going just above the collarbone. You can also go below it, but we are just stimulating the lymphatic drainage as it returns on its way back to integrate with the blood and then come back out again. Let's go up to the angle of the jaw, getting in up there. I like to move my body as well from the inside and the outside at the same time. And you probably can feel sometimes when those lymph nodes get swollen, they might be a little blocked. So gently moving them, not jamming them, but gently moving them can help. Switch the whole thing to the other side, left hand to that right upper quadrant. And both, you can see that both me and Cassie are kind of rocking around here. And this is kind of like just a natural reaction. So if you're just standing there stable, think of kind of pouring yourself from side to side. So my grandma lived to be 105 and a half, and she had a huge rocking chair, and she spent a lot of time in her chair rocking. So when our bodies are in this movement, it's healthier for our tissue than when we're just static. Go up to the angle of the jaw, tongue, throat. Freedom, freedom in the tongue and throat. Let it go. This may or may not make things better. And then we're going to come down to K27 points. Here are my collarbones, just a couple inches below that, or maybe 1.5 inches. There's 2 little indentations circling in there. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to turn my head from side to side. I'm going to mobilize my collarbones a little bit. And then going into left side, right hand on left, armpit, pec. Again, I can move my arm around a little bit or not. And the same thing on the other side. Yeah, so if we were talking in Laban terms, like this kind of moving and sort of pouring in the inside from side to side is a kind of shape flow. It's our body just adjusting flow within itself and staying in flow, right? As soon as I stop, kind of out of flow. So keeping that little bit of movement keeps us in this flow. All right, next place, coming down. Between your here xiphoid process, bottom of your ribs, and belly button, right in the middle, is your sternocleidomastoid. Kind of scooch in around it. It's pretty deep in your body. If I'm really erect and vertical, my abs don't let me in very much. So if I kind of soften over, they do, and then it actually feels kind of horrible. Yeah, you gotta go like right in here.
Yeah, I feel it, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's my least favorite of all the places. All right, and then inguinal fold. You can move, yeah, like just doing this, shaking my butt from side to side and letting my movement come from the inside to the outside feels very different than if I just do it from the outside to the inside. So play around with that, right? How is it to move from the inside to the outside? We think of our bodies like in these sort of, I think the way that we think of our bodies is very sort of objectified and not alive. But in reality, they're super alive. They're fluid filled. We are walking sacks of water with some extra stuff in there, then taking it down behind your knees. So that means that we have a lot of capacity to change, to heal, to adjust. Like something being calcified doesn't mean that it can't also break apart and go away. Just put that in your pipe and smoke it. And then coming back up and just shake it out. Let it all go. Bounce around. Let's do the arm thing. Let's do some brushing. You could like put on sleeves, take off sleeves, just waking up the whole surface of your body. Hello, skin. Hello, surface. Ah, yeah. Take the 10 little dragons running through the forest and then running rampant. Rampant. Dragons running rampant all over the queendom. The kingdom, the queendom, the fiefdom. Get your legs, get your butt, get your guts. Ah, yeah. And then let's take it down. Take it down to the floor. I'm going to actually turn it this way, I think. And we'll see what the sounds are like. Sometimes, like the floor has all sorts of creakings. Starting cross-legged, side stretch. Breathing or not breathing, however you feel like doing it. And then circling the whole way around, taking it to the side and forward. And then changing. Feeling the relationship from your tail to your head and your head to your tail. Whole torso. One more. And then switch it out. So non-dominant leg goes in front, whichever one wasn't there before. If it feels awkward, that's it. And we're just going to take it forward. Free up your spine, side, side, let it go. And then coming up, even yourself out, come up when you're ready. And coming back into this alignment. Oh, and I can move the camera slightly down. All right, let's lay it all the way down on the floor. You want to move over a little bit so you have more arm room? Ah, oh, it just feels good to lay down. So lay on the floor for a second. And yeah, you can do a heel rock if you want, or you can just lay still. Let your body settle into the ground as if you were going to create an imprint on the floor. If you move around, it's like you're wriggling into the sand, creating an imprint, but just letting the weight of your body really drop. Oh, I was talking with Mary Abrams the other day about belonging and how, like, really, do we really want to belong? Like, what happens when we belong to things? And her great big insight was gravity says you belong right here. So, gravity says you belong. You belong on this planet. You were born and it's holding you here. Not only do you belong, you aren't going to fall off. So, let's start to just wriggle our bodies with that information. So it may be like you're not a human, but you're some other kind of creature, a sea creature, an underground creature, a plant creature. Just letting your body have a different idea of identity for a couple of breaths. Wiggling, squiggling, letting your gut body have some mobility. Letting go. And then let's bend our knees. And we're going to knee drop from side to side. Just easily, there's the pea pod.
No, buddy.
Just gonna get the double pat. So easy loose knee drops. Allow this to relax your hips and lower back. And then start to add your head so that your head's going to go in the same direction as your knees. And you can start to close onto one side and then close on the other side. So imagining, again, remember the idea of imprinting your body in the floor, letting your head and weight really drop into the ground as you roll across it. So sometimes when I have people roll from side to side, they're really bracing in different parts of their bodies, lifting up their head. Just inviting yourself to let go of any kind of bracing, any kind of extra holding patterns that you don't need to hold on to. Softening, spreading across, smearing. You get the smear across your bagel of the floor. Letting go, massaging it out. Releasing the lower back and the hips, the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Really taking your time as you spread from side to side, like butter. And then, if it feels okay, you're going to start to pick up your legs off the floor and roll again from side to side. So now you're going to just be in a different relationship with your back to the ground. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Opening and closing. So this time, sort of change your spread to be that one half of your body is opening, 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 opening until you fall open, and then the other half is closing, 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 closing. And then you're going to open, 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 body half, one half, and close, 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 close. So this kind of body half, this right side versus left side body half, is a homolateral pattern, one side versus the other. And then if you want to, you can start to stretch it out in the middle. So you're unfolding as you open and then folding as you close. Yeah, reaching out. You can either flex through your feet or not. You can keep them relaxed or pointed, whatever you want to do. Just a couple more times. Letting this really massage out your back. Yeah, I was trying to get at a different level. Synchronization.
Synchronize mode.
Oh, okay. That's good. Let's come in and let's just exercise now for the love of God, but they start exercising. Let's but do we really want to do that? Let's stretch our legs straight down, flex your feet, reach out through your heels, hands behind your head. You're going to exhale one elbow to the ceiling and the other one on the floor, and then roll it down. You could inhale up, exhale down. Probably it makes more sense to inhale down and exhale up. And you can add as much of an arch as you want to on top. Most people tend to be, enclosed more in the front. So opening, yeah, hello there.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, you can open here. If your butt's popping off the floor, try to get both cheeks down. So there'll be a little bit extra spiraling up there. Hello, obliques. So actually what I feel more than the obliques working is the obliques getting a stretch and being able to relate to each other in a different way. Last one. Yeah, we're in slow motion here today. Bringing it in, bending your knees, and just circle your legs. So circling your femur head in your ball and socket hip joint. Woo! Love circles. Let your lower back and spine mobilize with that. So it's kind of like your tail is arching and curling, or your back is arching and curling in a small way. And you can pick your head up, or you can leave it on the floor, or you can do a combo platter. Change direction whenever you're ready. And then when you're ready, lower your feet down, hands down by your sides, pelvis up, circles with your hips. As you're circling, feel the parts of your body that are working. Like, because I'm actually kind of sore in one of my hamstrings, I can really feel when that goes online. I can also feel when my inner thighs are working more, when my outer thighs are working more. So tune into that. Change direction. Also feeling your feet on the floor. Oh, I can hear you breathing. It's lovely. Let this massage out your upper back. Free up the inner body as you're circling around.
So good.
And then come in whenever you're ready and lower it down. And just a tiny, easy arch and curl once you get down. So sending kind of like a ripple wave through your torso by arching and curling. See if you can free up your neck and head. So it's kind of like a heel rock, but I'm not really pushing with my legs. I'm just arching and curling and sending this wave through my body. There's the freedom. Mobility and freedom really go hand in hand, right? If we can't move, we don't have a lot of freedom. If we're overstabilized, there's a lack of freedom. All right, from here, let's open ourselves up into the shape of an X. So you're going to open up into your X, and we're going to do a contralateral pattern, crossbody, elbow to knee coming up, and then sliding it back out. You can either leave your head on the floor, or you can pick it up, or you can, again, try both things. Whenever somebody gives me options, I like to try them all, right? So I really advise you to feel into what feels good at any time, and then understand that that might change at another time. You may not want to do that anymore. So listen into your own body. You can exhale up, inhale down. If you exaggerate the breathing, you're going to get more action with your diaphragm. And a lot of times people have breathing problems because they don't actually exhale enough. So we want to be able to get it out. Last one. Heel rock in this position, just open. If you have socks on, your heels, and you're on like a slippery floor, you won't dig in as much. Having like bare skin on a slippery floor or on a wood floor is the best way to get the movement through your body on a heel rock. See if you can really soften neck, tongue, jaw, throat, rib cage, lungs, heart. Soften it in there. right? This bracing thing, like when we're doing all this bracing, it kind of eliminates the capacity to have flow in your body, right? We need movement. We need our blood to flow through easily. We need like not these, arteries getting all that plaque or, when things are getting all schmucked up. Movement can help reintegrate that stuff. So, yeah. Let's take a happy baby from there. Go ahead and do your thing as much as you need to. So, yeah, we are performing and yeah, we don't have to do everything exactly the same. And Cassie is also a teacher and a mover and a dancer, obviously. So if you need to do something different, go for it. I'm going to roll back and forth, rounding through my spine. You can stay in your plow if you need to. It's one position that I do not do enough of. And for me, it like massages into my upper back and neck. All right. Let's do another contralateral pattern, hands behind your head, legs up to the ceiling. You're going to point down and cross, and then flex your heels to the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And we're going to skip the top, one leg in, one leg out, just going for 20 at your own speed. And relax. Soften your whole spine, head to tail, tail to head, neck, jaw, freedom. Like let it move, right? This is that freedom and mobility. Freedom and mobility, mobility and freedom. And rib cage lungs, let that circle around, let it mobilize. So there's different ways that we could think about this whole like head to tail connection, right? We can think of the long spine, like snake-like spine, having all this freedom. But we can also think of these big bony structures of our cranium, our rib cage, and our pelvis, and let them have a relationship with each other. So as I'm moving, when my pelvis moves, I can feel how that ripples through my rib cage and what happens with my head. And as I'm moving that, I can also feel my scapula, my shoulder blades on the back of my body getting some mobility, right? So we want to think of that freedom through the central channel, freedom from the head to the tail inside of our spinal cord, because like we need space in there for our nervous system to run through, our nerves running through the spinal cord and then out into our limbs, into our body. And so sometimes as people age, they get calcification in their spinal stenosis. It starts to tighten up. If we keep moving and allowing things to reintegrate in our body, it's much less likely. But sometimes we think, oh, I just need to move my arms and my legs. But what we really need to have is this whole head, tail, spinal freedom so that there's mobility moving through. This is that deep, deep underlying shape flow support of our body in coherence with itself, right? Our systems working together. That was a mouthful. Let's open the arms out, legs up, spiraling from side to side. Big twist. You can straighten your legs if you want to, or start with your knees bent and then start to straighten them out, or do any other version of this. And we can also think like as we're working out that what we're really doing is integrating our whole system, right? So that our one whole body is working well with itself. Ha. Whenever you're ready, let that come in. Shake it out, release. Shake your butt, shake your legs, shake your arms. Relax your neck and tongue. And and then one more thing that I have to say about this whole body idea is that we have to be kind to ourselves, non-judgmental to our own bodies, like loving kindness towards all of our parts, the whole thing. Even if there's something wrong or something painful, like it doesn't help us to be cruel about our things, right? We have to be in some kind, we don't have to, but it's helpful to be in a loving relationship with our own body. So just thinking about that throughout your day, like, am I giving myself a hard time or am I being friends with myself? All right, let's take our hands underneath our butt, circles with the legs, as big or small as you want to go.
I always have popping when I do that.
Yeah, do it how it works for you. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of versions of this that are acceptable. Change direction if you're ready. These could also be really small, or you can just do the knee circles. For me, these have become like one of my like go-tos, warms up so many things. But if it's popping and clicking and if it's uncomfortable, don't do it. Ha. All right. Let's release that, shake it out, and flip over. So today I would say if we're going for freedom and mobility, we want to do more releasing exercises and more like dynamic stretching exercises where we're in motion with it, right? We're not getting more jammed up onto our bellies. Full disclosure, I was totally sick this morning. It was entirely my own fault. And not from not eating enough dinner and having too much wine. So this is really a recovery class for me. So I did take Advil and I'm like, wow, my body feels so much better. So yeah, bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side. Wag your big bushy foxtail. Let that massage out the front of your quads. And then come in. Okay, we're going to try something new. So you're going to open up. You're just going to bend and touch to the back and out. So it's a contralateral touch. I'm picking my knee up off the floor, but my hips are connected to the floor. A couple more. And relax it when you're ready. Wag your tail, shake your butt, let it go. Yeah, an alternative version to that, if you're having shoulders and wrists or wrist, not wrist, if you're having shoulder problems, would be to lift and look, right? You could leave your arm down, lift and look. Let's try the alternative version. So leave your arms down, come up, lift your foot, see if you can look around at it. And I'm picking my quad up off the floor. So it's not just a fold in my leg, it's a lift. Hello, foot. And if you have like neck and shoulder stuff and that totally hurts, then just lift the leg, right? You could also like find the pattern without having to move. So there's always a way to adjust it. And if you are like in pain or something's going wrong, maybe don't do the thing that hurts. Maybe. All right, curl your toes under, put your head on your hands, and just rock up and down. Soften and release. If you have any kind of like arthritic inflammation, anything like that in your body, just invite it. Just invite the fluid and the stuckness in there to reintegrate. Invite it just through your mind. Just give it the invitation like, oh yeah, you are welcome to reintegrate into my body and not be inflamed. Let's work on that together. Or any other kind of injuries or anything else. Like, have the idea in your mind's eye that you could be without that injury or without that pain. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it might. Who knows? I know that for me, if I can see something in my mind's eye, I'm much more likely to arrive there than if I can't see it. All right, let's take the hands next to the chest and baby cobra up. Just a little baby cobra and exhale down. You good with all this stuff? You can change anything you need to. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And then connect your hands and come all the way up. Opening up and down a few times. And then taking it into a child's pose. And just shift a little bit from side to side. Let it go. And then bring it up into a all fours. I'm curling my toes under. I'm going to take my butt back towards my heels and then stay in the arch as I come forward. So I'm just going to reach sit bones to my heels and then chest towards my hands. Sit bones to heels, staying in the arch. On this one, I'm going to change my feet, top of the feet to the floor, round my spine, and move forward and backward in the curled position. Oh, it's getting nice and toasty in here. Inviting your back to soften and release. And then coming into center. Let's do that contralateral pattern with a side. So you're going to go up, take it to the diagonal, bring it in, and come down. Up, diagonal, in, down. Up, out, in, up, out, in. Finding midline every time. So even though like the two sides of our body are like these parallel tracks, we're coming back in, sensing that third track of midline. Oh my God, I think I might actually be sweating. Which normally doesn't happen when I'm teaching.
Sweating wine.
What's that?
Sweating red wine.
Sweating some red wine. Do I smell like a distillery?
No.
And relax, relax, relax. Let it go. Yeah, so I have this knee is all taped up. You can't see it. But yeah, I still have my knee stuff going on. I went to my chiropractor. He thinks it's my LCL. But it's a strain. It's not like super intensely serious, but it's not the best situation to be performing under. Then again, that's what dancers do all the time. People have often said to me, wait a minute, Laura, you're injured, but you work out all the time. It's like, bingo. I'm moving all the time, so I get injured too. Circles with your chest and lungs, opening your heart. And there is no perfection. You never arrive at the place where it's all perfect. So let go of that idea. Change direction, especially for your own self, your own body. No such thing. Yeah, and check out Cassie's really free flowing it. So let yourself add that in, right? That's that whole head, tail, spinal mobility. Let it in. And let's come to sit up in a straddle. Let's just circle over our pelvis first, and you can have feet flexed or pointed, however feels good for you. Dynamic stretching. We're moving as we stretch. This kind of movement hydrates and lubricates joints, fascia, muscles, organs, change direction. So we don't want to think that we are all squished up and engaged. We're really loose. We're letting things flow. We're letting things soften. There's easiness. If you're really tight and you're struggling with this, just bring your legs in and bend your knees a little bit, right? And let's circle our feet. And then the other way. And then let's take our, let's flex and bend one knee and stretch over. Yeah, reach it out, lengthen it out, point and inhale up. The other side, flex. Here's our modern dance moment. And then reach and point and bring it up. And come up. And come up. And then we're going to flex and arch forward. If you're tighter, you're going to do this just lifting. You're going to lift up and out of it. If you're looser, you're going to flex and arch all the way down, and then point and curl and roll it up. So as I'm flexing, like my feet and my back are doing the same thing. They're opening out long, and then I'm pointing and curling, and my feet and my back again are kind of doing the same thing. Arch and open. I think I need some coconut water today. Point, or maybe even some Gatorade, even though it's basically just chemicals. Arch all the way down and curl. And let's curl down and arch up. So rounding down, reach it out, flex up, hollow and curl. Take it down, reach it out, arch. Two more, point, open, and last one. And bring it in, bang it out, let your tissues get softer, let everything ease up. Okay, I actually want to do some standing stuff. So let's come up to standing. Mobility, freedom, and the capacity to stand on your own 2 feet or your own 1 foot. So what we're going to do is shift to the side. I'm just going to go slightly in front of you so we can do arms out to the side. Shift. You're just going to shift in and open, in and open, in, open, in, open. One more. In, open, in, open. Good. We're going to go onto one leg. You're going to circle the other leg. So just circling out and around 4 in one direction and then 4 the other direction. Woo! Balance. Trying to balance. And then switch it to the other side. 4 circles one way. Try to really get into the back space. So this is basically a rond de jambe if you were dancing, except for I'm not really externally rotating that much. Oh, hello, standing leg. Change direction for the other way. Yeah. Good. And bring it in and just bend your knees and straighten and push straight up and lower. Bend. straighten like you're a rocket launching, and bend. Straighten, up, down, knees over your toes, straighten, ankles in line, because sometimes people's ankles want to pop out to the side, so you come up here and do that. Really feel them in line. Hips, knees, down through your toes. Woo! Falling over. It helps if you're looking straight forward. So probably better not to be looking at your screen wherever that is. Two more. Feeling your whole foot connecting to the floor. And by your whole foot connecting to the floor, I don't mean your instep. I mean you're feeling your toes, you're feeling your balls of your foot, and you're feeling your heels. If you have flat feet, let's do this exercise too. So you're just going to reach forward, and then it's like you're doming up. So you're kind of creating the arch, and then you're flattening it out. Creating the arch, flattening it out. Back and forward and back and forward. Same thing on the other side. We're not going to do a whole lot. Taking your weight forward, up and in. Forward. It's like you're scooching along the floor. Forward. This is actually, you can see the light under my foot. And this exercise I learned from Irene Dowd, and she's an anatomist, kinesiologist, amazing person. I think she's still teaching. Okay, and then let's do this. You're going to go heel, you're going to bring your legs parallel, turn out, bend through your heel, toes, heel, toes, heel coming back, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel, toes. Other side, toes, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel coming back, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel, toes. So what I'm trying to do as I'm doing that is have this happen so that my hip and my foot are working together. Let's try it one more time each side. Going toes, heel, and my body can move a little bit. I'm not trying to super stabilize. Coming back. Welcome to my knee rehab. Other side. Toes, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel, toes. Good. Bend your knees and come up. And let's just do both arms reaching straight up, tippy toes. Bend your knees, soften, take it down. Roll it up, reaching up to the gods and the goddesses, and then down, planting yourself, grounding your energy, giving thanks, right? Rolling it up, reaching up, and then taking it down. Thank you, gravity, for my belonging on the planet. One more. Inhale, lift and open, and exhale. Take it down. Open your feet wider, shift from side to side, bend one knee and then the other. Soften your spine. Listen to my creaky floor. And then come in, roll it all the way up. That's it. I am going to end our live stream. Yay! And if you are following any of this, please feel free to like, subscribe. You could even buy me a coffee. It happened. I've had somebody buy me a coffee. It was so exciting.